Today, I have a big plan. That is to beat 2048 game. We are trying to achieve the highest possible score, but with code. Using a quick Google search, we can also see the highest possible tile is 131,072. I'm pretty sure most of you know what is the 2048 game. Just in case you didn't know, it's a game where you stack tiles and numbers to get the highest possible number. Now, the first idea that comes to my mind is running the program with a dumb algorithm. Yes, let's call it keep pressing left, and if it gets stuck, press up and down. It might sound really stupid at first, however, we'll see how far this algorithm can go. Anyway, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show performed by my AI. So sometimes the program just stopped running, and after further investigation, apparently, if you just do this motion, there's a possibility that it just gets stuck. I guess that's why they implemented the right arrow key. Even though it's not perfect, it gave us some decent result, with the high score being 256 when I tested. The next algorithm that I thought of is, yes, you guessed it right, pressing random buttons. Because a random person can mash the arrow key and get decent result with that, right? So I went to consult an expert on this matter if we can possibly win, and my best friend ChatGPT says that there is less than 0.01% chance. Well, that's a reasonable win percentage in my opinion. So we just need to run the game around 10,000 times and we'll get a win. Now obviously I'm not gonna torture myself and run the game 10,000 times, so here's a couple of runs that I did with the program. And as you guys might notice, it performs really bad, even worse than our left up and down algorithm. The random algorithm nets us a high score of 128 tiles. These algorithms have been performing really bad, so I started looking for tips online on how to beat the game, and the most frequent strategy that came up is keeping the tiles on the corner and merging the highest number tiles. Alright, enjoy this time lapse. This method was averaging around 256 and 512, which I believe represents most of amateurs playing the game. I was about to go to the next algorithm until the program decides to pull this pro gamer move. I don't know what the algorithm was thinking when that happened, but it was pretty amazing to see that happen. So yeah, the current high score for our algorithm is currently 1024. It's time to lock in, guys, and actually use my programming skills to beat the game. We are going to explore more into the nerdy sides of the program. I implemented a logic into the AI called greedy algorithm, which essentially means it's always picking up the move that gives the most points. I also added a couple of features like the more empty tiles on the grid, the better. Lastly, I also assign a values to the cells in the grid, so the AI will always keep the higher value tile. It's trying to maximize the corner. For example, in this picture, we are maximizing the value on the top left. Alright, I think that's enough talking and we can just jump straight into the actual live demo. Let's go, guys, we did it. We hit 2048. Now at this point I just let the program run because I was interested in how far or how high we can go with the high score. Honestly, I think that was a pretty good run. I also did a bunch of other test runs, and a lot of it was averaging around the 1024 tile, and occasionally they might hit the 2048 tile. Now, at this point, I was really curious how far AI can go, and what's the highest tile they can achieve. With that said, let's shoot for the stars. So I went to do some researching and ended up finding the Expectimax algorithm. I wonder why it's called Expectimax. Maybe it's expecting max. I'll try to explain the algorithm in simple terms because it's a bit complicated. So basically it looks at the empty positions in the board and call it as a node. Now since the game produces random tiles, with 2 blocks having a 90% spawn rate and 4 blocks having a 10% spawn rate, the algorithm looks at every possible empty node and calculate the probability alongside these new tiles spawning. It tries to calculate the best possible outcome, looking at moves ahead, which is called depth. So the higher the depth goes, the longer the program thinks and give better result. Anyway, I know you're here for the game, not the algorithms, so let's jump into it. I think it's a good time here to talk about our video sponsor while we let the time lapse of the program. Just kidding, I don't have a sponsor yet. Yet. Anyway, I'm going to talk a bit about the flaws of the program. Now, as a great programmer, I maybe relied a little bit too much on my best friend ChatGPT and Claude, because my dumbass brain couldn't really comprehend the algorithm. So somehow it spat out like almost 800 lines of code, and of course, me with my small brain, I tried to make it work somehow. So yeah, it's not as perfect as the original proposed algorithm might be, but it works. Alright. The AI just hit 2048. I'm going to let it run and see how high we can go. So unfortunately, it died around the 4000 tile, and I proceeded to run the AI a couple more times. And what surprised me was that the AI was beating the 2048 game every single time. Yes, I'm not kidding. Like every single time. The highest scoring board that I achieved was this one here. It almost reached the 8000 tiles, but it falls short. Well, I was hoping for more for the high score, but I guess we have to take it since technically we already beat the game. Another approach that I could think of is to implement a deep neural network and train it, but I think Code Bullet already did a really good job on doing the program that way, so I'm not going to go into further into it. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Also, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button as it motivates me to keep making videos. Okay, bye!